Hey, everybody, welcome to Pink Shade. It's Monday. It's Monarch Monday. I'm here with Keisha. We're going to talk
Hi.
about Ladies of London. And we are both on the Mucinex train. We are on the
We are
Flonase train.
driving this we are driving the struggle bus
Yes.
today. Both of us, we're taking turns like driving it because
Because somebody's got to take a nap. Somebody's got to go lay down in
yep.
the back. Yeah,
I,
yeah.
I literally just yell, "Can you die from an overdose of antihistamine?" James like, I don't think so, but I think you can.
You might can. We could ask,
We'll see what happens while we're recording. Just
you
keep
know what?
going. Keep going.
If you fall over, I will pause.
Yeah, and
Okay.
just like text James too. No,
Okay.
don't text him. Call him. Call
Okay.
him and
I'll
say, I
call him.
think you may need to go check out. But continue the show. Continue the show.
Let me tell you what, the show's not that important. It's not that important. I will tell
No,
you that
someone would say, like, it doesn't matter that someone died. We didn't get our show.
totally. Totally.
Uh,
Okay, now I thought this was a good episode.
it was a good episode. Yeah.
I thought it was. I'd say 98% of people love this show, obsessed with it. And then
I
there's
agree.
2% who are like, this show is so boring. I don't know how you guys are enjoying it so much.
I don't know how they're like, I don't know how they find it boring. As a matter of fact, I was at a gala on Friday
Yeah.
and this guy was like, okay, tell me, like, of all the shows right now,
Yeah.
which one is your favorite? What should I be watching? I'm like, Ladies of London.
Yeah.
Hands down, no questions asked. Ladies of London, RuPaul Drag Race, but Ladies of London. And I was like telling them how good it is and all about. He's like, okay, I'm going to start watching. So I'm like, you need to. It's fun.
I think it's really good too. And
Yeah.
I have been a guest on a couple of shows recently where I'm like, the one to watch is Ladies of London. It's really good.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting too that I was looking up because I've got everybody's ages here,
Mm-hmm.
but no one has any idea how old Kimi is. She's
Oh,
still,
really?
yeah, no, it's not listed anywhere. And some people are like, well, if you think her kids are 9 and she had them late,
Yeah.
then she could be 49 if she had her kids at
She
40, or she could be 56 if she had them like super late.
I think she's between 45 and 55.
Yeah, me too.
And that's just based solely off her how she looks.
Right. I think it's more like 49 and 55 because I think she
Oh, you think
probably,
49?
yeah, because I think at 40 is probably when she was like, okay, now I've decided I want to have a baby and I'm already separated
Okay.
from my husband, kind of a thing. Um,
Okay.
but we don't know. You guys, if you have any way to know if you went to high school with Kimmy and we can get like a marker on like a high school year, you know,
But I think she was in Haiti when she was in high school.
I do too. I do too. And a lot of people have sent me some information about that, of which it's like, so it's like history and things that like are too smart for me to understand. But
Mhm.
basically, like her dad was in sort of like the regime of Haiti, and then like a lot of those people got kicked out. Um,
Mhm.
I don't understand because it's like history and it's to do with like overturning of governments, and I don't
I
get it.
mean, we know a lot of bad stuff does happen in Haiti. We also had a listener DM me with some alleged tea about Kimmy that she's a pretty fucking horrible person. You know
Is
what I
the
mean?
is the person that DM'd you, is it a person that has like no followers, no profile?
She was like, I want to be anonymous.
Yeah,
Don't. So I think she actually created a page
right.
just to give this. And
Because she
I was
DM'd me
like,
too, but it was like 0 followers, 0 thing, and it's one of, and that,
yeah,
so that goes into like the
it
spammy part.
was
And I just saw it and I read it. I was like, I bet this is the same person that reached out to Keisha.
probably.
Mhm.
And here's some of the stuff that she said about Kimmy. I can't believe it's true because it
Yeah.
kind of like you see her like, okay, that kind of tracks a little
Yeah.
bit.
Uh-huh.
Just say that she was kind of horrible, elitist, a little bit, all allegedly racist, not very good
Allegedly.
to her staff. All of this is
Yeah.
allegedly
Mhm.
not good to her staff, not the best mom. Um,
Homophobic, xenophobic.
oh, but yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Mhm.
I don't even know
Culturally,
what
and
xenophobic is. What is that?
I believe it. Listen, let me look it up before I say it
Okay,
wrong, but
okay.
I believe it is when you are sort of like racist or other cultures.
Okay. Like
Uh,
I love her, but at the same time, the things that this person said, I'm like, I can kind of see it.
it's an irrational fear, distrust, or hatred of foreigners.
Okay. Which is okay. But you moved to a foreign country.
Right. I don't know. Listen, we think she's a hoot. So,
She's look, and I will tell people, I am not the best judge of character because I will love a person down and find out that they're the scum of the earth. But I'm like, they're so
you're
funny,
like, they're
you
such good
know.
TV.
I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So yeah, she would look at us and just turn the other way. Fucking
Oh,
Southerners,
yeah.
Americans
She
from
would
the
she would
South.
she would laugh at our Louis Vuitton bags. She would say,
While we
"That's
think we're all cute and
yeah,
fancy.
uh-huh." She would say,
Mm-mm.
"No," because that bag
Yeah.
she was holding this week at the end of the episode is a minimum $30,000 bag.
$30,000.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I looked it up. I looked it up. I was
Oh,
like,
okay.
you could get it on the real wheel for like 22, but I don't think
Yeah.
you got it on the
I
real
didn't
wheel.
even look it up, but I was like, that's at least a $30,000 bag right there.
Yeah, yeah.
So
And
good for
it was
you, Kimmy.
good for you, Kimmy. I've
Yeah.
noticed her handbags, because she always is very colorful and her handbag
Yes.
always matches. I noticed a Goyard bag. I've noticed she's matching her colorful, expensive bags with her colorful, expensive clothes.
Oh, yeah, and I'm a little bit jealous of it because
I
I wish
mean,
I could do the same.
not
You
to
know.
say. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, let's talk about it.
Okay.
Also, my sister's good friend Kelly reached
Mm-hmm.
out and she said she's loving the show and she's listening to our recap. So, hey, Kelly.
Hey, Kels. How are you?
Hey, girl. Okay. Ladies of London, The New Reign, season 4, episode 5, Martha in the Middle. So I did look at all of the titles and they all are a spin on either a TV show or a movie, which I wish they would keep it consistent and do TV
Mm-hmm.
shows or
TV show or
movies.
movie. Yeah.
But okay.
Here we
Martha in
go.
the Middle. Okay. So we opened with, and I'm loving how they're doing this. Like last week, it was like emotions in London. This week, it's driving in London.
Mm-hmm. This was funny.
It was funny. Myka says, I'm a horrible driver in the UK, but I'm great in the United States. Margo says, my advice on driving in the UK is drive slow.
Okay.
Now we see Myka taking a driver's lesson. And even though she's been driving there a long time, now she's taking a lesson, which she probably should have done at the beginning.
Yeah. How did she get the license? Just
I don't know if maybe you could just use your American driver's license. I would think not, since you were driving on the opposite side of the road.
now, my dumbass thought, as long as you have a license somewhere in the world, you can just use it in every country. And that
I
can't be
mean,
true.
I actually I think it is because I have
Oh,
friends that
really?
have gone and they're in Ireland and they rent a car, or they're in Spain and they rent a car.
Okay.
One time when we were the first time when we've been married 10 years and we went to France, we went to Versailles, and you could get rent a golf cart to go around the grounds.
Okay.
Um, and Dave stood in line for forever. And when he got to the front of the line, he needed his driver's license in order to drive the golf cart. He didn't have it because he had
Oh,
like just stuck like a credit card in his passport, like in his pocket, and didn't have.
yeah.
So, so I think in some countries that is true. Again, guys, we don't know everything. So if we're wrong, we're sorry.
And usually when we're wrong, we're real loud about it. But you guys should know that by now.
Yeah, I did look up
Yeah,
xenophobia to make sure I said it right because that was important.
you did.
So she said she has gotten a lot of speeding tickets, so much so that she's about to lose her license. So
Jeez.
that's probably now why she's taking the driving lessons. I mean, she's in the car. She's like, what are the squiggly things in the box? And the lady's like, that means you can't cross the box. She's like, oh, I think I got a ticket for that. I bet you did.
Because to me, the only difference is everything is the opposite. But
Yeah.
I'm not thinking there's totally different road rules
Yes.
wherever you go.
And let me tell you something interesting about being in London. I've only been the one time, but so, when you're at a curb, think about like New York City or Houston or a big city, and you're at a curb and you press the button to like wait for the walk signal. But
Yes.
sometimes you'll look, and if there's no cars coming, you'll go ahead and go.
You'll go. Yeah.
Well, in London, you look the wrong way. Do you see what I'm saying? Like you think in your mind, you're like, okay, the cars are going to be coming from this way. So you look, but they're actually
Yeah.
going to be coming from this way. So there is writing on the sidewalk. So that says, look to your right or look to your left, because your inclination is to look this way, but actually you
Yeah.
should be looking that way.
too much. It's too much.
very confusing. And let me tell you what,
Yeah.
the first time you get in a car going on the wrong side of the road, when we were years ago, we went to Turks and Caicos, and I did not realize that was a British colony country, so that they drive on the wrong side of the road. So I get in the thing and I'm like, it took me a second. And then when they start going and you feel like they're swinging out into traffic,
Yes.
they're actually doing it's very discombobulating.
I bet.
So
I bet.
it's interesting that they'll let you just drive on the wrong side of the road without having to like retake a driver's test.
I do bad enough just here.
Right. Yeah.
I'm on a struggle bus here. I always bump into curbs, all kinds of stuff like that. So I'm like, I will pay for someone to drive me if I go into another country. Please.
You're like Mark Francis. So
yes.
Martha says, so they're asking each cast member about driving, and they ask Martha, do you drive? She goes, oh yes, I drive, but I'm terrible. Mark Francis, do you drive? He goes, oh no, I don't drive. You sit in the back seat, you make your calls, and you get out.
Yeah.
Emma says, I take taxis and I walk, and we have a driver to take us out to the country, obviously.
Right.
So she doesn't drive. So Kimi, Myka, and Martha meet for lunch. Now, I have to tell you something, and I saw shit, where's my phone? And I saw somebody post about it this week, and I'm like, okay, I'm not the only one.
I'm wondering, is it the same thing that I noticed? Is it about someone's hair?
It's Myka's hair.
Myka's hair. Yeah.
So I noticed it this week. Okay. And it's like,
yeah.
It's like she dyed the front.
Yes. Yeah.
So it blends in with her skin. So it's like a bad dye job. I'm holding a picture up to the camera. And then I saw somebody else post in a Bravo group and was like, I need Emma to help Myka with her mixed race hair because she doesn't know how to do it and she's struggling with the front.
And so that's what I thought too. To me, I said it's clear that her hair is really thick. It's probably very curly.
Yeah.
And she gets it straightened. And I'm like, I don't know. Sometimes you just got to go to someone who knows how to deal with your exact hair type. You just can't go to anyone.
Yeah.
And I think that's the case. But she has really nice hair.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but that front part right there, I was like, girl, like it made it look like her hairline started back here because it's so light up front. I'm like,
or it's like she rubbed makeup into it. It just
was a mess. It was. How did Kimi not tell her this?
Kimi's definitely saying it behind her back. But
yeah.
I also noticed in the confessional that she's got it all pulled up and stuff, and it's all one color.
This is the only time that I've noticed that it looked that bad. So I don't know if she had just gotten it done or she needed to get it done or whatever. But you've got such pretty hair. Why would you jack up the front and then wear a ponytail?
I think she wears a lot of slick back ponytails because I think it's a sleek look and it's easy. But the front part being a different color, I have noticed it every episode. And
I hadn't.
So remember when she went and met Dara?
That's right. With that, and I thought it was hat head.
You thought it was hat head, and I go, no. I go, it's something about the front of her hair is dyed the wrong color.
And I think the reason why she wears it in a ponytail so often is the fact that it is curly.
Yeah.
And she thinks it's going to frizz up if she wears it all down.
Yeah. And I think the sleek look is, good for her job or whatever. She has a
brand.
She's got nice bone structure. So why not?
Yeah.
I saw a girl last night. We were watching House Hunters and she had her hair all pulled back. And I was like, God, I wish I could do that.
I love a ponytail. It is probably my favorite look is a ponytail.
Yeah, I just don't have the bone structure for it. Okay, so Kimi, Myka, Martha meet for lunch. Okay, I'm obsessed with the hair. Okay, so they're talking about what they're going to order, and Kimi she talks about like ordering mayo or ketchup with the fries, and Kimi says, I don't trust a man who doesn't like mayo or meat. And then her talking head, she goes, if I go on a date with a man and he's a vegetarian or doesn't drink, I walk out within 7 minutes.
Well, I wonder, is it because you assume that they don't go down?
Girl, no, I would have never thought that.
That's what I thought.
I just thought vegetarian means like he's boring or weird and not fun. And if he doesn't drink, well, then she just, that won't work for her because she has to drink a lot. Yeah.
She's going to drink enough for the both of them, no matter what.
Right.
Because the girl likes to get her drink on.
Mm-hmm. So Myka tells them, oh, like, I'm so tired. I was up late with a 3-year-old. They talk about 3-year-old being the worst age.
It is.
It is.
Everyone
And
says terrible twos. I'm like, no, it's the
mm-mm.
threes.
You
Yeah.
wait. You wait till you get a
Mm-hmm.
3-year-old in your house.
Yep.
She explains she's launching a new company called Mini Manners. She's been working on it for a really long time. It targets kids up to 6, 7 to help them be kind people. So when she said that, targets kids up to age 6, 7, I paused it, rewound it. I go, Anna, come in here.
Oh boy.
Now Anna's got a hurt leg and she had to hobble in there. She's like, this better be good. What is it? And I go, watch.
The 6, 7.
She goes, you're ridiculous, and hobbled back into the other room.
I can't believe you made her hobble for that.
The amount of crap she makes me watch for 6, 7, I can't even tell you.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So hopefully it's almost over.
It got banned in the house here.
Okay.
Mala's mom banned her from saying it because she said it all the time. 6, 7.
It's only funny when it comes up in conversation accidentally. You know?
Well, it's a 6-year-old.
Well, that's
like anything. Yeah.
Yeah. So she says etiquette really is about treating people with kindness, and it's a TV show with puppets to teach children, manners and kindness. Okay.
Right.
All right. So they talk about the painting of the naked guy yesterday, and they were like, it was weird how Mark Francis acted, but I mean, he painted a nice hydrangea. I think it's his etiquette that makes him not want to laugh at that. You know what I mean? I think it's his upbringing.
Maybe next time they should choose to draw a vagina. Maybe he's more into vaginas than what we realize. I don't know. But I think it's kind of like, we don't talk about sex.
That's it. And he's like,
Yeah.
I don't, yeah. And Kimi says, I told Misse, I'm sorry if I offended you. And and they're like, oh, I'm glad you said that. Instead of going like, girl, that's not an apology. She goes, I told Misse, I'm sorry I offended you, but now I'm so pissed at Margo. And she says, Margo repeated something and made it into something bigger than it was. And it obviously upset Misse. So why would she do that? It was not necessary. So if anybody hurt Misse, it was Margo.
Here we go. Blame it. Like they all do that. They all tell each other something that somebody says. Like that's it's in your contract for reality TV. Like spill the tea. But now she's just taking all of her anger out on poor Margo. But here's the thing. We saw last week, Margo's not a punk. She's not going to let you talk to her crazy. So good luck with that, Kimi.
Kimi goes, I am not a PC person. I am not a polite person, but I am a loyal person, and I am a girl's girl. I don't think so.
I don't think she knows the definition of being a girl's girl.
And she goes, and now Margo's on my shit list, so she's fucked. And I'm talking ahead. Kimi says, Margo doesn't give a flying fuck about Misse. I was like, okay, Kimi is on one with Margo, like on one.
Margo, girl, you in danger.
So over at Missy's apartment, Misse, Lottie, and Margo are there, and they're talking about Lottie's going to have an upcoming gender reveal, and it hasn't been a thing in the UK, but now it's becoming a thing. And
that's so weird to hear that. I'm like, you just assume things are like international, like especially something like a gender reveal.
But like when you and I had kids, gender reveal wasn't a thing.
Well, here's my take on gender reveals. Like
you just call up somebody and go, hey, I found out today we're having a baby, a boy.
It's either cute or it's stupid. I think it's cute if you post a picture, you've got all pink in the background, or you've got on a pink dress letting everyone know. But to have a gender reveal and you invite all these people and you have to buy everything in pink, everything in blue, that shit's expensive. I had to do that before. I'm like, this is fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Like what unless you're having a dolphin, it's not going to be that much of a surprise to me.
Surprise, it's a kangaroo. Okay.
Right.
So Misse, Lottie, and Margo, and Lottie's talking about her gender reveal, and they talk about, are you going to have help? And Misse says, well, I had help with my son, but with my daughter, I've done most of it myself. And Lottie says, well, I really just, like, my mom didn't have all these nannies and things. And I want to try and do it alone. And Margo goes, well, I had 4 nannies. And they're all like, For one baby?
For one baby?
What?
Why would you need that? Just say I don't want to take care of my child and just give it away. Like
I mean,
4 nannies?
4? That's
You know,
weird.
as the episodes go on, Lottie is the most normal, which is this is weird considering the person she's married to and all the pantsuits that she wears.
Yeah.
She's the most like down to earth person on the show.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. And by the way, the person that wrote me that said that Lottie and Joshua's photo shoot they did was a gender reveal because they were wearing pink. You're wrong. This
Oh,
is the gender
that's
reveal,
wrong.
and the baby's a boy. So no,
Yeah, I didn't think it was a gender reveal. I think it was a birth. It was like a pregnancy
a
announcement.
pregnancy announcement. Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's where we're starting to see maybe Margo is a bragger.
She's a little bit braggadocious.
Yeah, and I hadn't quite noticed it.
Me neither.
But having watched the full episode and now going back and talking about the notes I took, I'm like, when she says she had 4 nannies and they all go for one baby, like that's dumb.
I don't think that's true either.
Maybe
That was a
4
waste of money.
4 throughout the years, not
Yeah,
4
but
at
not at
once.
one time. It's like, okay, it's a baby, not an alien. Like, why do you need that much help? Like, girl.
Lottie says, I didn't grow up that way. I didn't grow up with night nurses and nannies, and my mom had 4 kids and did it on her own,
Yeah.
And Missy says, yeah, she talks about the thing with Kimi. She says, we sort of made up. It was an apology, non-apology,
No.
which that is true. Okay, I got to take a sip of this. I'm scared I'm going to cough.
Yeah, it's here's the thing. I don't think there's anything wrong with having a nanny, especially if you are working. You know what I mean?
Yes.
The extra help would be great. And here's the thing: sometimes it's the mother-in-law or your mom that comes and helps out with the baby. I mean, when I had Scholar, I was on my own. There wasn't even a dad around, so it was just like it's a bonding experience. But hey, if I had a baby today, I'm like, we have to have a nanny. There's no, I need my sleep because I'm just old.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm old.
Mm-hmm. Having kids is.
You stay busy. You stay busy.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we're at the gender reveal. They're at somebody's gorgeous home.
Yes.
And in the talking head, Lottie and Joshua talk about now in this talking head together. I kept pausing it because I'm really trying to study him and figure out what he would look like without all the hoopla, right? Like, what does he look like without all the mustache and the eyeliner and the.
It's so weird because it looks like it's so much.
Yeah.
But when you really look at it, it's not that much. It's just all of it put together. And you cannot tell me that man's not wearing makeup other than eyeliner.
Oh, he's wearing makeup. Yeah.
Yeah, he has on a full face of makeup to make it look like he doesn't have on a full face of makeup, but it's a lot of makeup.
Yeah. So she says, my dad, was sick with liver cancer. And then, he had a miracle drug that helped him live I think he ended up living 10 more years. And she says, so getting the families together for this gender reveal seems important. We don't know how long he'll be around. Growing up, my dad was a CEO and we didn't see him much. He traveled a lot. So I'm glad he's still around for all these milestones as we're getting older. Now, of course, we know that her father recently passed. She had posted.
Oh my gosh, she did. I was
Yeah.
like, oh no. I'm like,
because she posted about it, I believe, after the episode.
yes.
But I didn't watch it until right before I had to do these notes on Sunday. So yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, I saw at the end it said, dedicated to, and I'm like, who that? Because I couldn't remember what his name was or anything like. I'm like, is this a producer?
Yeah. Sometimes we don't know. Sometimes we don't come on the screen. We're like, are you supposed to know?
Like who? Yeah, and then she made the post, and I was like, oh, this is horrible.
But the post that she made, I mean, she said he was supposed to live months after his diagnosis, and he lived 10 years. So
that's a blessing. And he got to meet her baby.
And pictures of him with the baby was really
baby.
Cute.
Yes. And a normal looking dressed baby.
Yes.
At that. It was not in like floral print, or it didn't have a mustache nor a wig on, just a cute little baby onesie outfit. Very normal.
They have got to put a mini mustache on that baby. That would be so funny. So they cut the cake. It's blue. It's a boy. And in the talking head together, they were like, oh, I wasn't thinking a boy. I was definitely thinking girl.
Right.
But now I have a vision of think about us in our matching suits. And now we have mini suits. We're going to start designing mini suits. I mean, hilarious. But the
So
mini suits.
funny. And the cake flavors, when my mouth was watering.
I almost wrote them down just for you.
Because when she was describing what, I was like, holy shit, why am I not there?
Yeah.
I would have been like, cut the cake.
And it was cute when he was like, I can see what it is. Before they said it, that was cute. Okay. So Margo takes her daughter Della to see the new house. It is $60,000 a month.
Even if I were rich,
Mm-hmm.
I would not want to spend that much money on a short-term lease.
Rent.
Yes. I'm like,
I'm looking.
I don't, it was nice.
It's $720,000 a year. So in my mind, why not just
buy
a place for $1 million?
Because she doesn't even know they're going to stay there or not, because her husband is still in the United States. And I think he may be pretty happy where he is.
I wonder if the production team for the show she's working on, because she was moving, said, okay, we can give $10,000 a month towards your rent, thinking any normal person could find a place for $10,000 a month.
Yeah.
And she was like, okay. And my husband said 50. So I'm going to make it 60.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a gorgeous
home.
Much. It's a gorgeous home.
It was nice, but I mean, you don't even get to add your own flavor to it because it's already furnished. And
it was crazy too that it was such a huge, gorgeous kitchen, and she does not cook.
And she didn't know how to use the stove. No. So this is the one up. This is a one up to show how much money I've got. It was pretty obvious.
I think you're right. Yeah. Now that it's been pointed out, now I'm seeing it,
Yeah.
So in her talking head, she says, I'm excited to get back to a set, to get back to work, to have a purpose outside the home. She calls Martha and she's like, I'm at my new house. I love it. I'm so excited. I can't wait for you to come and see it and rub it in your face that you live in the garage.
With shit all over your wallpaper.
And she says, my stuff's going to be arriving soon. Do you want to come over and sit in the garden? Mm-hmm. She goes, oh, I would, but I have plans with Emma. So I thought this was going to be like, she's just going to, she already has, but no, this is like two separate parties that we see sometimes like on Housewives.
And I'm like, okay, you can tell that the one group who was with Emma, these people are real friends outside of the show.
Emma and Kimi and Mark Francis, the three of them went on Watch What Happens Live together.
I think they are real friends. Even if there was no show, they would hang out. And I have to say that this episode was the least Martha personality that we've normally seen of all the episodes. So I don't know what she was on, or if like someone broke into her house the night before and she was traumatized.
She gave her keys to another stranger.
She gave her key away. Maybe the bird pecked her in the eye. I don't know, but she was not Martha.
Well, she's depressed. So Martha tells Margo, she said, well, I had dinner or lunch or whatever it was with Kimi and Myka and her weird hair. And Kimi says, you are a snake in the grass. And Martha says, she says, you told Missy something she didn't need to know just to stir the pot. And Margo goes, yeah, she did need to know. Her big thing is honesty and being transparent and telling. So yeah, she did need to know. And Martha says, well, I think you're both wrong and horrible. And I think you're both wrong in this situation. And I'm stuck in the middle and I don't want to be. And Margo goes, whatever. And Martha says, Kimi is tough. She is, but she's had to be tough. But Kimi really has a heart of gold. And Margo goes, well, right now she just looks like a bitch.
Well, she does look like a bitch. That is true.
Yeah.
Here we go again. Someone telling us, and I think it said again in this episode, Kimi's had a rough go at it. But we are getting no exact. I mean, when she was in Haiti, did she have to hunt for her food? Like, I mean, what was so rough about her life? Because all we hear is that she's a trust fund baby.
And we hear that her, basically her mom didn't want her. And but the person that wrote you said that's not exactly true. That she was horrible to her own mother.
which I can kind of see that.
I mean, Kimmy did get married at Downton Abbey. So
Yeah, I
that's
know.
really something.
She may have hated her mom because her mom grew up poor.
We don't know.
Could- We don't know.
We need
We need
more.
more. We need the meat of the story, people. Come on.
We need more about Kimmy.
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna do the two parties separately.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
so let's start with Emma's party. So we're at Emma's London flat because, of course, she has
Hmm.
a flat in London and she lives at
Yes.
Longleat. She's cooking. She explained that she has a brand called Emma's Kitchen that goes along with Longleat House. I mean,
Hmm.
they're killing it. Emma and her husband. They are
Like
branding. They are doing everything right.
they are doing everything that Meghan and Harry should have done, but then they fucked it all up and no one really likes
Totally,
them. Like
totally,
they should have followed this blueprint. Like it was the work was already done for you. All you had to do was follow it.
totally.
But no, they
100%.
didn't. Yeah.
100%. So, Margo talks about like, I wait. Okay. Well, we see Margo over in her thing saying, I'm not into cooking or hosting. It's a lot of work. So Emma is telling
She's
us,
struggling.
Emma says, I have thrown a lot of parties. Like we've had ones next to the lake where the hippos come up. I was like, oh Lord.
Oh
Keisha.
my God, where is my invite? I would
Yeah.
fly, I would swim to London to have one of Emma's dinners by the lake with hippos. I'm like, can I like go ride on a hippo? Like, can I feed the hippo? I would die.
You would die. She goes,
Die.
we had one party where we did it on the property, but Diana Ross was singing across the lake. What?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
She says event planning is hard. It's huge. It's a hard thing to do. So in the talking head, Kimmy says, oh my God, before Emma arrived on the scene, I would go to Longleat, and it was gross. Like the towels smelled. It was like no one had changed the sheets. And then Emma came and everything was beautiful. I was
I
like,
was actually surprised to hear how bad it was before.
I guess because her husband was sort of, the heir that was in charge of running it and didn't have a woman's touch,
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and so we have at this dinner, we have Martha, Mark Francis, Kimmy, and Emma. And we know that the
Hmm.
four of them are friends. Okay.
Yes.
So they're sitting there and Kimmy says something about Martha, how's your bird? And she goes, it's fine. And Kimmy goes, when you go over there, darling, you have to put on goggles because the thing's going to peck your eyes out. She goes, and it reminds me a lot of your friend Margo. She'll peck your eyeballs out.
I
Um,
love how she brought it all back to Margo. Yeah.
wove it all in. She'd been
Yeah.
thinking about that for a day and a
Yeah,
half.
she
Yeah.
did.
Martha says, oh, Kimmy, you're just pissed off because Margo outmaneuvered you. And Kimmy goes,
Mm.
please, she does it all for attention. And that's why she wears the little shirts. And
Okay.
Martha goes, no. And Martha goes, I think you're jealous of her. And Kimmy goes, oh, please, darling. I'm laughing at her.
Well, so Margo and Missy, the two M's, they do like to show up half naked.
They do.
But I think it's a difference in the age group as well.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I think they're a bit younger than whatever fucking age Kimmy is.
But they're also, Margo is an actress and Missy's a model.
It's a model.
And so they're like,
Exactly.
oh, you got it. You got to show it,
Yeah, and when I see them, I don't feel like these are two women who are trying to show off their bodies to get attention. I don't get that vibe from them at all. I think that's just like how they
I
like to
haven't
dress.
felt they're dressed inappropriately for
Me neither.
whatever the event is. I just
Mm-mm.
think that that's how they dress because they're young and they're hot,
I agree.
So she's laughing about the shirts and Mark Francis is laughing too. And Martha says, Margo was like Wellington. And you're just cross about that. Sidebar, Wellington is the person who defeated Napoleon. And so
Mm.
Martha is saying like, Margo came in on the side and defeated
Mhm.
you.
She
And
did. She ate
And
her
she
up.
did. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Kimmy goes, please. She's just clamoring for attention. And that's why she wears tight velour jumpsuits. She has bad style, darling. Really bad style. It's hideous. She's so tacky.
Well, I mean, no one looks good in crushed velvet unless you're Prince.
Uh,
It just doesn't work.
Yeah.
It always looks cheap. It
does.
I don't know what it is about it. It just it's not flattering to anyone. It just
But I do like Martha's like, stop it. She does not. She has great style. She's one of the most stylish women in the world. And Kimmy goes, please, darling, you were one of the first ones who said that about the jumpsuit. And Martha goes, okay, I
yeah.
said the jumpsuit was hideous.
Yes, it was.
But she's perfect apart from the jumpsuit. And
She's American.
she goes, and she's been from LA where people wear
Yep.
Lululemon. And Mark
Yeah.
Francis goes, well, she's not anymore. And I was like, whoa.
Now they're being a little bit, what was the word about the different cultures?
Xenophobic.
They're being a little bit of xenophobic right there. Like, come on.
And Kimmy goes, honey, there are chic people in LA and Margo is just not one of them.
No, there's chic people in New York.
Yeah.
LA is a totally different story out there.
I mean, you might get like a Kathy Hilton. You might get a Sutton. She's chic, I would say.
Mhm.
Okay. So
I mean, they just like they're going to a garden party all the time.
Yes.
Kimi and Mark Francis. They really do. And then you have Emma, whose whole belly was out at this dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's a Marchioness or whatever the hell it's called. So the talking head, Mark Francis, says, ultimately, Kimi is a very fair person and she will see things objectively. Okay.
I don't agree with
I don't
that.
think I agree with that, Mark Francis.
Mm-mm.
And the talking head, Emma goes, oh my God, this. So she's not talking, right? Because of her title and stuff. She's not saying anything. And Emma says, this is like an aggressive intervention. And the talking head, Martha says, Kimi, Mr. Calling, she should have been a top barrister. And all they're doing is slagging on Margot's clothes, which is progress because Margo is wearing clothes. Which is funny.
Yeah. And I think that the snootiness in Mark Francis and Kimi is really like we've seen it before and it was kind of like cute and like extravagant, but I love it. This is like they're really digging into a person and it's coming off just really snobbish.
It's one thing to make fun of the jumpsuit, but then to like keep it going. She's so tacky. She's from LA. You know.
I mean, the jumpsuit, they're spot on. It was
they could. I think they probably said it to her face, like, "What the fuck are you wearing?"
Probably.
Martha says to Kimi, "I genuinely love this girl, and I don't see it as you see it, and I think she's fabulous, and she looks amazing."
Good for you, Martha.
And Kimi goes, "Well, I'm just so surprised. She's your friend."
They've been friends for a long ass time too. This is not like we just met for the show.
Yeah, so I like that Martha is taking it for her.
And she's doing it by herself against two other people.
Three, really, because Emma's sort of like
Emma's not. Yeah.
And like we said, when the cameras go down, I think Emma jumps right in.
She says more. Yeah.
But she doesn't want to be seen that way because of her brand, you know.
She doesn't want to be Meghan Markle.
So they go inside and they eat dinner. And Martha tells Kimi, I don't like you tonight. You're being a total bitch. And Kimi goes, well, I am always a bitch. I'm consistent. And Martha says, Kimi, how are we going to resolve this with Margo? And she says, I don't have anything against her. She's just everything I didn't expect, which means she's being snobby about her saying she's tacky and stuff. And Mark Francis says, listen, and now we lean in for the juice, right?
Yeah, because we know he's got the juice.
Mark Francis says, I have a friend who has known Margo for a decade, and he saw her at my garden party and says she was unrecognizable in her manner. And what does that mean, right? It's like British. You got to decipher it. And the talking head, Mark Francis says, I heard that since her marriage, she has become an absolute diva. She's vain. She's obsessed with money, and she's become insufferable. Now we see lots of clips of her talking about money and things like that maybe we didn't pick up on, but now you put it all together and you're like, oh.
But it wasn't too much when she said those things. But when you clip them all together, boom, 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 boom. Yeah, I mean, she's got new money.
Yeah, and her talking about like her budget for her house and stuff is a little tacky.
I'm sure they did ask her that though.
I'm sure they did, but it's sort of like, oh, it's not cool to talk about prices. Let's just say it's a lot, you know, like that.
So that's how James has taught me that. He's like, we don't talk about money. Like you just don't talk about money. I'm like, oh, okay. I thought we did. He's like, no, we do not do that. So, and it took me years to get like that, but he's like,
the only person I ever talk about money with besides Dave with like dollar figures and whatnot really is my sisters.
Mhm.
And even then, it's kind of like talking around it.
Yeah.
Um, so Martha says, "Well, you know, her manner is different because she got sober." And Mark Francis says,
Mm.
"Actually, that shouldn't make people worse," which is true.
It's true, but sometimes it'll make you, what is it, a wet towel, a wet blanket, a
Yeah.
little bit. Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm. You were way more funner when you were drunk and at risk of losing your liver. Like I
Well,
liked you so much better back then.
in the words of Toby Keith, I sobered up and I got to thinking, "You ain't much fun since I stopped drinking." Um, which is probably what Dave thinks about like everybody he knows. Okay. And Kimmy says, "I'm telling you right now, Martha, Margo is going to fuck you over." And Martha says, Margo and I have been friends for 20 years and she hasn't fucked me over yet.
Mm.
And they're really
She's
fighting.
standing her ground. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, and Martha is standing her ground. She's not, because sometimes people are like, you know what, you're kind of right. You could just
Yeah.
get manipulated into
Yeah.
thinking maybe this person is horrible. She's like, no, I appreciated Martha with her tight curls this episode.
Me too. Her grandma hairdo.
Hmm.
The talking head Emma says, "I've never seen Kimmy and Martha fight. I think of them
Right.
as Tweedledum and Tweedledee, like the two old men Muppets who sit in the balcony and make rude comments. Like I've never seen this before."
That was spot on because
Yeah.
that in other episodes, that's exactly how they act.
Yes. And Kimmy says, "She already did fuck you over." And okay, so if you're friends with her, I'm not your friend. Um,
Oh, that's immature.
and Martha just rolls her eyes and she says, "Martha, if someone stabbed you in the back, I would defend you. Where's your loyalty?" But she didn't, whatever. And
I
the
don't
talk,
think she stabbed her in the back.
I don't think she stabbed her in the back. She's just
No.
sticking up for her.
Yeah.
And the talking head Martha says, "In this situation, I don't think Kimmy is right. And so I have to stand my ground." And so she is. Okay. Over at Margo's, where she doesn't know how to cook
Ooh.
or anything. So Misse arrives over to Margo's for drinks in the garden, and they're drinking non-alcoholic wine. So now I want to talk about this. So we have two people
Okay.
here who don't drink, which is Margo and Lottie because she's pregnant.
Mhm.
And two people are coming that do drink, which is Myka
Mhm.
and Misse. Now,
Mhm.
if you are a person in recovery and you don't feel comfortable having alcohol in your house or whatever, if you go to somebody's house, you should not expect them to serve you wine. You should bring your own.
Okay.
That's my experience in my life. I think that
Okay.
some people really just don't have any like my sister and her husband, they have no alcohol in their house. So if you come to their house for dinner and you want something, you need to bring it because they're not going to have any
Okay.
as an option. In
Okay.
our house, we have all the options. My husband feels differently and he just is like, whatever. Yeah. And if we have a party, he's like, make sure you get, bourbon,
Yeah.
gin, vodka, whatever, make sure we have it. Now, when the party's over, we will give it all to our neighbors so it's not sitting around.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
We're
but
always fully stocked because that's
yeah,
just how my husband is.
yeah,
Just
yeah. But
always.
we were before as well. But
Right.
I think in this case, Margo is there by herself. She doesn't drink. Her kid's there with the nanny, and that's it. So
Mhm.
I don't. I think if these girls are coming and they know they're coming to someone's house who doesn't drink, just bring your own wine. I don't think it's
And
on
see,
Margo to serve it.
and I feel the total opposite. I feel as though she should have had, to me, I feel like when you're inviting people to your home,
Hmm.
that you are there, you're inviting them to please them. So
Yeah,
you always have different options for them. I'm not saying she should have, like, had a fully stocked fridge with every kind of alcohol, but she knows these girls. When are these bitches not drinking?
I think in my thought, it could be triggering for her to have to go and buy it. And so I think what she should have said was, "I'm gonna have you guys over for dinner. I'm gonna have some fun non-alcoholic
BYOB.
mocktails. But if you want anything that's not mocktails, bring it yourself because I'm not going to enter a liquor store or a wine store or whatever."
I think she also should have said, if you guys plan on eating good food, bring your own food. Because that
Yeah,
shit did not look good. She didn't look, it was all bad.
she was trying so hard.
I know.
Yeah.
She should have just hired someone to fucking do all of it for her.
Yeah, I don't know why she just didn't say to the nanny, "I'll watch my own kid for an hour. Can
Get this
you make
together
this
for
food?"
me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Myka and Lottie arrive, and she mentions, "I have rosé," but
Yes.
she never brings it out, and they've asked
No.
several times, and she never brings it out. But she's saying, "Let's try these non-alcoholic wines. Like that's fun," and they're like,
That's
"Not really."
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, in the talking to him, Missy goes, I just want an actual wine. And I'm just thinking now, that's what I should have brought for a hostess gift. Um,
Yes.
Myka brings, she brings a little sweater for the baby that says "Mind Your Manners" because that's part
So
of her
cute.
brand. It's so
Yes.
cute. And she says, "Yeah, with etiquette, you do when you go to someone's home, you bring them a hostess gift, or you send them a note after saying like, thank you for having me into your home."
And I'm 100% the same way. I always bring something, and James is all like, "Why are we doing this?" I'm like, "You fucker!" Like it's because they're inviting us to their home. They're doing something for it. It's a way of saying thank you. He doesn't get it.
I
Every single time it happens, he's like, "Why are we doing this?"
I get
It's like,
so
oh my
excited when I
god.
do my Christmas Eve party, which is only like 20, 30 people, and most of them are
Mhm.
like the same people I just saw for dinner 2 nights ago. I mean, it's not
Right.
like a new crowd, but everybody brings like a little hostess gift, and I get so excited. I'm like, "Ooh, it's a bottle of wine. Ooh, it's some fun napkins. Ooh,
Yeah.
it's like yeah, cute."
It's because a lot of work goes into preparing for like
Oh
a crowd
god.
of people to be in your home. Like you got to clean your fucking house, you got to buy the food, cook the food, serve it, like everything. It's a big deal.
We
Yeah,
gotta
bring a little
and you
something,
gotta
something.
hide the mess, hide the mess.
Yes,
We, like, put everything in Dave's office and shut the door and, like, don't go in there. It's like
smart.
Monica's closet on Friends where everything falls on top of your head. Okay.
There's a dragon in the closet. Don't open the door.
That room houses all the COVID. Don't open it.
Yes, don't
Um,
open it.
so, we see Myka and Missy several times. "Do you have wine?
Yes.
You have wine? You have wine?" It's funny.
Mhm.
Finally, she brings out this tiny, like, half bottle of rosé, and they're like, "Oh my
Mhm.
god, next time I'll bring my own."
I think they know now.
Yeah, they're like, "We each get half a glass." So, Missy says, the other 4 are at dinner at Emma's, and, so they're like, "Wow, Kimi was on the warpath for you, Missy. Was on
Mhm.
the warpath for you,
Mhm.
Margo." And Margo goes, "For me? What did she say about me?" Myka says, "She said that you said just what you said. You should not have let what was said to you out of the car. She thinks that you purposefully, told Missy, blah, blah, blah."
She didn't
And
tell her to upset her, but I feel like Missy needed to know that it it was the yawning and the drug dealing part that made it so bad. I would want to know that someone said that about me and my
I
situation.
and for her to be like, "Oh, she acts like it's a sob story." It
Yeah,
is it
I
is a
would
sob
want to.
story.
I
Yeah.
would be pretty pissed off if my other friend heard someone say that about me and didn't tell me
About my brother who was gunned down in the street in front of his child. Yeah.
On Christmas
Christmas
Eve.
Eve. Yeah, let's
Yes,
let's
we
just
don't
make it
celebrate Christmas anymore because
yeah.
this happened. So I would want to know.
And so Margo goes, "Okay, what'd she say?" And so she says, "You should have never let that out of the car." And Margo goes, "Well, maybe Kimmy should never talk to her again." Kimmy should never talk to her again, Missy maybe. No, Martha. And Lottie goes, "I think it's really tricky because Martha is in the middle of all this."
Hmm.
And Lottie says, "What Kimmy said to both of you is not okay." Meaning
Hmm.
like when Kimmy was yelling at both of them. And
Right.
and Lottie says, "For me, that aggression is too much."
It was a lot of aggression for that situation when you were the asshole.
When she's like, "Fuck off, you're a bitch." And I
Fuck
was like,
off. And
"Whoa."
pointing her hand and
Yeah.
all the hand gestures and it was too much for me. Just as a viewer, that was too much for me.
Yeah. And Lottie says, in her talking head, Lottie goes, "I'm siding with Margo on this because if that was me, I would want
Mhm.
my friend to tell me as well."
Yeah. Yep.
So Missy says, "I'm not going to be approaching Kimmy and discussing this with her." And Margo goes, "I've got no problem with Kimmy. And, she's just like a little corgi." And then they're all like, "She
Yeah.
is like a corgi.
She
Oh,
is.
she's corgi Kimmy."
That's so funny.
Kimmy's
Corey
not,
with a K.
Kimmy's not going to like that.
No, but she kind of is. I think she's more like a little chihuahua.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So now we go to Myka and her puppets shooting the manners show.
Yeah.
And she's like, "God, I wish I could find a way to teach adults also to be kind." And
I think
so
she was channeling Miss Rachel. Do you know who Miss Rachel is?
unfortunately, I do know who Miss Rachel is.
Okay, yeah. I've had
Um,
to watch a lot of Miss Rachel, and I think that's who she was trying to mimic in a way.
yeah, but
Um,
she's like, she talks about a lot, and I'm not even going to go into it because it's a lot. She talks about
mhm.
how much work she's done for how many years on creating this mini manners, and it's like exhausting. So they do the whole thing, and it's funny because like the puppeteers like are dropping the forks and whatever, and the heads are rolling back. And I
Yeah.
don't think these are professional puppeteers. Like she didn't get these from Jim Henson, you know.
I don't know. I was like, maybe you should just like send it all to like it should be an animated series, perhaps, because
Maybe
puppet is just too much. It's not looking good.
she wants to be the star though,
I think so.
and she's like,
I
"You
think
here's
you're
how you
right.
hold your fork," you know.
Yeah.
And she tells her assistants or the puppeteer, whoever it is, that she's exhausted. Max, the 3-year-old, has been sick. And, you know, her husband has gone so much. And lately he's just gone so much more. And we're always concerned about
Oh
that.
boy. Yeah.
She,
Especially with the much more part. Like, why
mhm.
you got to go extra?
And she says, I'm juggling a lot and I wish he was home to help me. And she says, you know, my emotional health is a little off balance. And I feel like I'm trying to handle the business, the mini manners business, the kids, the house, filming a TV show. Not, she's not saying it.
She needs 4 nannies.
Here's the thing. She has 2 assistants and a nanny. So
Do they know how many people just do they know how many single moms are out there
yeah,
who work full time, go to school, there's the teen mom, and they
yeah.
do it all by themselves?
They go to school, they work full time, they pick up the kid from
Yes.
daycare, they get the kid fed,
Yes.
put it to bed, they study all night, and they get up in the morning
Yes,
and do
they
it again.
do.
Yeah.
Yep. Every single day.
So she's just saying, like, I'm, you know, mentally not well. I'm trying to not let everyone down. And I feel like I'm always in fight or flight mode, like the adrenaline. You know, we can all understand that, even though we all
And
wish we had 3 assistants to help us.
poor
Yeah.
thing really needed that glass of wine at that dinner party, like big time.
She's looking over at Missy like, I'll fight you for that half bottle. Okay. Now Kimi goes to lunch with Missy. This was surprising.
I was surprised to see that happen.
In our talking head, Missy says, oh my God, Kimi, she always is dressed so lovely. And I loved her bag. You can't be mad at somebody when you walk in and all you can see is this ostrich, orange, Birkin, Hermes, Birkin, Kelly. You guys look it up. Orange ostrich, Birkin, Kelly bag.
Yep.
Minimum $30K to start for that size.
I would have like, I just came to have lunch with the bag. I mean,
Yeah.
Kimi, you do what you got to do. I'm here for the bag. That's it.
Can I pet it? Can I hold it? Yeah.
Right. Cheers.
I did tell Dave when we were in London, I said, we're going to go to the Hermes. He loves a Hermes, however you say it. I'm sure I'm saying it wrong. Hermes tie. And they're really not that more expensive than any other tie he would buy, but he really likes to go and look at. So we go and look at them, and that's the only thing we can afford. But all the Kelly and the Birkins they have in there, and when we were in there last time we were in Paris, I said, "You see this bag?" And it was just like a red or black or blue, medium, not even huge size Birkin Kelly bag. And I go, "How much do you think that bag costs?" He goes, he's basing it on Louis Vuitton prices.
Oh, no. You can't do that.
And he goes, like $4,000. I go,
that's funny.
I said, that bag is $33,000. And he's like, what? I was like, yes.
And then there's some people who have like one in every color.
Every color, every size.
Every fucking color. And people say we're snooty.
I'm going to tell you something. I think that, you know, we've discussed at length, and Kimberly and I discussed at length this weekend, when I win the lottery and how we're going to give everybody a little bit.
Yeah.
And then don't ask for more. We've got our plan.
Yes. That is my exact same plan, has been for years.
Kimberly wanted to know if she could be included in the Keisha plan, which she could get a bonus as a staffer, but also as a friend. And I said, yes.
Wait a minute. Hold on. See, she's starting shit. She's not full-time staff. I'm thinking about Amy Archer. No, Kimberly, yes, we get the same bonus. Yes.
Amy Archer will get a friend bonus, but not a staff bonus.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kimberly and I both get staff and friend bonus.
That's correct. Okay? Yeah. And I told her Katie can't come sniffing around and ask for it.
Oh no.
I said Katie only gets friend. Yeah. And she said,
I've never met Katie. She's, you know what, of the podcasting crew.
Yeah.
She's the only one. She could walk in my house right now and wouldn't know who she was.
Well, you would, because she's like 6 foot tall, blonde.
Oh,
Yeah, you would be like, "Whoa, who's this model that walked in my home?" Yeah,
she's the only one I don't know. We've never recorded. I don't know her.
she's hilarious. So, anyway, the point is even when I do win the lottery and I give out all my
Mhm,
payments and all the things,
mhm,
I
mhm.
still would never buy a Birkin bag.
I have to agree with you. Like, I
I
would
just
only buy
wouldn't.
a Birkin bag, like, it was like at one of those not half price, but discounted
Yeah,
luxury designer bag places. I would not pay full price for a Birkin.
I
I
don't
just
either.
couldn't
I
do it.
wouldn't buy one from the Real Real for it's for $15,000. I just wouldn't.
I cannot see myself spending $30,000 on a bag.
I don't
I just
understand it. I don't understand the appeal. I don't they're I've held one. They're very heavy. I don't
I just
I
can't
think
do
it
it.
feels like it's hard to get in it because of the way the top is. Like you can't even get your sunglasses out real quick.
I just I couldn't do it. I
Okay.
just like I couldn't spend $60,000 a month on a rental.
Exactly.
I can't spend $30,000 on a handbag. I
You
just
guys, Keisha and I are so relatable. We are so relatable. We agree that we would never spend 30,000 on a handbag and never spend 60,000 a month on rent.
no, I just
We should change this podcast to pink relatability. That's what we need to. That's right.
I agree. I could not
I'm
agree with you
every
more.
woman.
We are, but here's the thing: if we tried to, our husband would just be like, "Those fucking bitches! I fucking knew they don't need to be rich. Look at them, $30,000 on a goddamn bag.
That
Wow.
you gave the wrong people this money
Yes,
because we could
yes,
have
yes,
invested
yes,
that and
yes.
they bought a purse. Yeah.
Yep. I can't.
Yep.
I can't. Mm-mm.
Okay. Now watch one of us wins like $60 billion and we're like, look at all my Birkins.
I'm like, baby, hey, let's go get a Birkin. Like, come on, come on, come on. Let's go get a Birkin.
Can
Just
I get a
this
pink one?
one
Can I get a pink
time.
one? Just one.
Yes, just this one time. Let's just get one Birkin.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
so funny. No. Okay, let's go back to Kimmy's $30,000 bag that she just has sitting next to her.
It deserves its own seat.
Yeah.
It deserves its own table.
Yeah. Now, you know an ostrich had to die for that, Keisha. Are you okay with that?
Wait, really?
It's ostrich skin. It's an ostrich
Oh, hold
skin
on.
bag.
Wait a minute.
You didn't realize that?
No, no,
That's what an ostrich. Well, just like if you
no.
see alligator, it's an alligator
I
skin.
know.
Ostrich is ostrich skin.
I didn't put two and two together
Okay.
at all.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That
Mhm.
is horrific.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man.
Okay. So an
I
ostrich
don't
had to
like
die to make
that.
that bag.
No.
It's true.
But it looks good.
It's
It
pretty.
looks good.
So Kimi says to Missy, they talk about the bag for a second, and Kimi says,
Mhm.
I just wanted to say in the car, I didn't say anything negative about you.
Okay.
So I'm trying to like roll it back. I'm like, well, she didn't say Missy has terrible style and she's ugly. She
She
just
didn't say anything about our mole.
she didn't say anything about her mole
No.
or why her kid doesn't live with her.
Yeah, which we still need answers about that.
She just said, I don't like people telling sob stories while we're trying to have a wine tasting.
And she did say, I think she did it for attention. That was rude.
Yeah, that was rude. So she says, it was just more like I had read about this. I already knew this story. And
Mhm,
Missy goes, I understand, but I felt very sad and very disrespected.
mhm.
And Kimmy says, and I wanted to talk to you at the painting party, but Margo was at my side like a barking dog.
Margo only came over there because Kimi was so loud
In her face, in Missy's face.
in her face. That's the only reason why Margo went over there. Otherwise,
Yeah.
she would have stayed over there with everyone else.
And Missy says, well, I thought it was great that Margo came over to stand up to you and tell the truth.
Mhm.
And Kimmy goes, I don't see it as standing up to me. I see it as causing friction between two people, which was non-existent before. And I
Mhm.
really wasn't saying it in a negative way about your experience. Yeah, well,
Girl,
and
you were.
Missy goes, well, you did say I said it for attention. And Kimmy
Mhm.
goes, okay, I did feel that. And to be fair, I'm not a very sensitive person. And
Really?
and she she says, you know, a lot of people deal with things in different ways. And for me, my crutch is humor. Well, in
Mhm.
the van, you were not being funny. You were
She
being
was not. No,
you
it
were
was
not
horrible.
you weren't joking about it.
Mm-mm.
And Missy goes, yes, that's right. But you were judging me. And Kimmy goes, okay, well, I am a bit of a bitch. But now I'm realizing you're more sensitive, and I'll be aware of that going forward, that you're more sensitive the thing. And so Missy goes, okay, thanks for that. So I think what she's doing is she's putting it on Missy like, if you weren't so sensitive, nobody else would have been offended because you're so sensitive that you got offended that I made fun of your brother being gunned down in the street in front of his child on Christmas Eve. You're sensitive.
No, and she just doesn't get it. It's not going through her thick skull
Yeah.
at all.
So
What
Missy
you
goes,
did was,
she's
because
not.
she knows she's not going to win any other way. Like this is where it flatlines. This is it. Like it's not going to go anywhere else. So just accept it and move on.
I use humor as a crutch. I didn't know you're so sensitive. And
Mhm.
so in the talking head, Kimmy says, I don't want Missy to be upset. I felt people were disrespecting her brother's death, and I do feel bad about that. Okay. So in the talking head, Missy goes, I'm learning that everybody deals with things differently. And despite of what's happened, I'm happy to just close this chapter and move on. I
Yeah.
take your apology. And the talking head, Kimmy goes, here's the thing about Missy. She's half Swedish and half Albanian. And I like that Albanian bit because she's got balls and she calls a spade and calls it. Okay. So I like that Albanian part of her.
Okay.
So Missy says, I think you and Margo need to have a conversation actually. And, I think Margo was very sincere when she told me that. And Kimmy goes, well, let me tell you something Mark Francis told me. Mark Francis told me that it's like a guy knew a guy at a party and said
Right.
that a guy who knew her before said that she's totally different in her manner now. Like she has her acting hat on. She's very different. So I think, Missy, you should talk to Mark Francis about how Margo is different.
But this is the same person who said that the comments she made in the car should not have gone past the car. But here you are telling someone to go talk to someone else about what someone else told them.
I mean, it is so hard on the recapping because these are not people's names that roll off our tongue yet because we've only known them for 5 episodes. So I'm always like, wait, who said what? And I'm like, wait, and I get confused. And there's so many M's.
And so many M's.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So still to come this season. So this is episode 5. And I believe we were told there were 11 episodes.
Oh, damn. Okay.
So still to come this season means we're at the halfway mark. And we're so used to Housewives or 90 Day Fiance. They go in like 45 seasons. We're like, whoa, we're halfway through. Emma asked the group to come to Longleat. And we see a lot of clips of this. I bet they're going to have at least 2 episodes at Longleat. Don't you think?
Because this is probably, instead of where on Housewives they go on a vacation somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we see Mark Francis, who seems to have had too much champagne at the garden party. And he is sipping and he says to Kimmy, he goes, so sorry about the VPL. And they go, what's that? And they're like, visible panty lines. And we see Margo walking away. And so she's got on one of those outfits that's like underwear underneath, but like sheer crochet on the top. You can see her butt. Yeah. And which is not appropriate for a garden party at Longleat, I got to say.
It's very American. That's what's in style right now. Yeah.
And then he says, I'm sorry about the VPL. And we see Margo walking off and they're all like, oh my God. And Margo goes, it's Alaya. It's a very important designer. Haven't you seen Clueless? And they're all
like we all know that from, this isn't Alaya. Like, girl, have a gun to your head. Like,
it's Alaya. So we see Kimmy get in Martha's face and say, why don't you defend me for once? And Martha says, because you're a psychotic bitch.
Whoa.
Coming from the woman who lives with a bird who's going to peck her eyes out.
And shit's all over her house.
We see Lottie say to Missy, I can't just agree with you every time because you're going to cry. And Missy looks like she's going to cry.
Oh, boy. Which goes back to she's sensitive.
Very sensitive.
Yeah.
Margo says to Mark Francis, why are you so obsessed with me? And he gets in her face. He's like, I don't know, darling, because you're so amazing. And she goes,
catty.
She goes, God, you're so weird.
I mean, that is weird for a man to be in a woman's face talking like that.
It is. And it's because he's taking up for Kimi.
Yep.
So the talking head, Margo goes, I don't know. I think he wants to fuck me. And the
All the
talking
tension.
and in the talking head, he goes, "She's a lunatic." And again, I think he is basing a lot of this on when they were at Emma's and Kimi was like, "She's tacky, she's too
Yes.
American, she's this, she's."
Yep.
And so
Yep.
now Mark Francis is like, "Ooh, let's jump on this. We hate Margo," you know?
And that's all it is. It's a We Hate Margo campaign.
And also, I think he's old enough to remember whenever she made that super sexual
Yes.
movie. Yeah.
Movie. Mm-hmm.
So, it seems that, they try to talk, and I think that's Mark Francis and Margo, and he says, "We're not going to get anywhere, sweetie," and she gets up and walks off,
Ooh.
and then Mark Francis says to the group, everybody seems to be dispersing, and Mark Francis says to the group, "It's not over yet. The fat lady hasn't sung," and Kimmy goes, "I'll sing later. Let's go." And that's it. And so I'm excited about Longley because I'm excited. I know you're excited to see the safari park.
Yes.
I'm excited to
Yes.
see all up in the inside of there.
That too, but man, I'm like, I'm never leaving here. I mean, living right
Yeah.
next door to animals like this, like, that's how I want to die.
You want to be like on safari where like the giraffes come right up to your door and stuff.
Yes, but like, I still want to be in like a nice resort
Yes. Oh,
situation.
yes.
I don't
Yes.
want to be like in a hut or anything like that.
No, The people I
Mm-mm.
know that have done safaris, you're in these like gorgeous, like it looks like a
Yes.
tent, but it's a room.
Yes.
And then the hippos and everything and the elephants, they just walk right up while you're like by the
Yeah.
pool and stuff. Isn't that crazy?
But I would be that one person who would stick a finger out and try to touch one of the animals. I couldn't resist.
Yeah, you would be.
It'd
You'd
be
be like,
me.
"Is that elephant here for my 3 p.m. ride? No, I'm
Yeah.
not supposed to ride the elephant? Okay, sorry."
I'd be like, I'll take care of the baby elephant, mom. Mom elephant, go on, have fun. I've got the baby.
Keisha gets
Yeah.
speared right through the middle with the tusk.
Yeah.
And James is like, "She did love animals. That's how she
Yep,
wanted to go.
That's how she wanted to go, guys. That's how she wanted to go.
Oh my God. When I first met you, you had just gotten that chinchilla.
The 3-legged chinchilla.
And I was like, Keisha.
And it whooped our asses.
Yeah, and Keisha's like, that lasted about 2 weeks, but the chinchilla got rehomed. Yeah.
And here's the thing, I never give up. I'm not a giver upper, even on people. But he wasn't happy, and we weren't happy either. We were petrified of the 3-legged chinchilla. It just didn't work. And he bit us, he ran from us, he was not happy, he wouldn't eat. And I'm like, none of us can continue to live like this. So, but I did all my research. I found the perfect home for him. I interviewed that kid for 45 minutes.
Interviewed like a 10-year-old. Yeah.
He was 10 and he knew everything about a chinchilla that none of us in the house knew. I'm like, he's going to the right house. I cried about it, but I know he's living a happy life. Never fucking again. I knew nothing about chinchillas.
Was it an open adoption? Are you allowed to get pictures of the chinchilla?
I never wanted to see that chinchilla again in life. Okay, that chinchilla bit me. It bit my child. Like, no. I'm like,
not what I thought you were going to say.
Look, it was I know it's hard to believe that I was like that, but it was a horrible 3 weeks. It was bad.
That's
what a shit ton of money too, but
oh my God.
he hated us.
Oh my God. When you were first coming on the show regularly, you were telling me about that. And I was like, you are fucking crazy, girl.
Yeah. I mean, I had a friend who was like the director of the animal shelter. She's like, "Hey, I've got a 3-legged chinchilla. You want?" I'm like, "I'm on my way," which is typical me. But I knew nothing about a chinchilla. I thought like I'm going to put a little sword in its hand and they do little things like that. He didn't. It just was not.
He was just happy he wasn't a coat like Kimmy's bag.
And I would never do anything like that, but he fucking hated us.
Yeah.
And we didn't like him either.
No. God bless. What was his name?
What did I name Van Gogh? That's probably why he hated me, because of the stupid name I gave him.
Probably so.
Yeah.
Well, R.I.P. Van Gogh, wherever you are.
He's probably, I don't know how long they live.
I don't know. This is I don't want to get in trouble with the chinchilla lovers.
The Chinchilla Society of America.
Chinchilla Society of London. Everybody, make sure you're following us, please, on social media, Pink Shade Pod and the Libra Lounge with Keisha. Make sure you're listening to our other shows. Keisha's got a podcast called the Libra Lounge with Keisha. I've got other shows this week. I'll be covering 90 Day Fiance. Who's on this week to talk Bravo? unclear. I need to go and look at my schedule. Ingrid will tell me. Can't remember who I booked. And I hope everybody enjoyed last week. I had an interview out with Kimberly, who's currently on 90 Day The Single Life, and that got a lot of great response. So thanks to everybody who loved it. My next interview in the 90 Day world coming up will be Elise from Before the 90 Days. I've interviewed her before. She's a good time.
She's got a lot of nice bags too.
Oh, yes, she does. And she told me, bitch, they're real. And I have reached out to Bravo to ask to interview just anybody from this cast. And in usual Bravo fashion, no reply. Because they don't give a fuck about me.
Because we're just not at that level yet.
No, it really wouldn't even matter if you are at that level. They don't respond.
Well, when I get on Bravo, I'll make sure to let you interview me.
Thank you, girl. Can you get me a good PR person? Jeez Louise.
Yes.
All right, everybody. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye-bye.